This is one of the busiest commercial crossing in North America. About $400 million of goods crosses the border every day, so it's a lifeline.
And this bridge almost didn't happen. That's because the billionaire family that owns that bridge over there, the Ambassador Bridge, tried for years to stop it.
That's billions of dollars in goods moving every single day. But here's something interesting. This isn't the first bridge connecting Detroit and Windsor. Just a few kilometers away, the Ambassador Bridge has been doing the heavy lifting for decades. And if that wasn't enough, there's also the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel, shuttling people and goods underground. So why the need for another one? And that too for $5 billion. Let's first look into the amount of trade that happens between Canada and the US. The US and Canada share one of the strongest trade partnerships in the world, worth over $900 billion annually. Every day, $3.6 billion in goods cross the border, supporting industries like automotive, agriculture, energy, and technology. Canada is the top export market for 34 US states, making this relationship vital for both economies. The economic power withheld in this region specifically is huge. This brings us to the Ambassador Bridge. The Ambassador Bridge is one of the most vital trade links between the United States and Canada for a long time now. Opened in 1929, it has long been the busiest international border crossing in North America, handling over 25% of all trade between the two nations. But it comes with a big problem for the two countries. That being that the bridge is privately owned, and neither the US nor Canada has any control over its financial generations. Every time a truck or car crosses the Ambassador Bridge, someone is cashing in, and it's not the US or Canadian governments. Unlike most international crossings, the Ambassador Bridge is privately owned, controlled by the Maroon family through the Detroit International Bridge Company in the US and the Canadian Transit Company in Canada. That means every toll dollar collected, whether from passenger cars or commercial trucks, goes straight to the Marowns, not to public infrastructure funds. And we're talking big money, not small chunks. With millions of vehicles crossing annually, tolls generate hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue. But here's the catch. Because it's privately owned, neither the US nor Canada directly benefit from these tolls in terms of reinvestment into roads, border security, or trade efficiency. What makes it even more special to handle 25% of the trade is that it also allows all sorts of vehicles to pass through, big or small, unlike tunnels, which makes it the go-to choice for trade. Along with that, on the US side, it links directly to Interstate 75 and Interstate 96, opening up trade routes to industrial hubs like Chicago and New York. However, on the Canadian side, it doesn't lead up to anything too important, which brings us to the downsides. For instance, traffic is crazy, and the structure is almost a century old. So to figure all these problems out is when Gordie Howe International comes into play. The idea for the Gordie Howe International Bridge dates back to the early 2000s, when studies revealed that existing border crossings between Detroit, Michigan, and Windsor, Ontario would be able to handle future traffic demands. After years of planning, environmental studies, and legal battles, construction officially kicked off in June 2018. Designed by AECOM's Eric Behrens, this engineering spectacle is being brought to life in collaboration with the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority, Bridging North America, Fluor, Dragados, and AECO. When completed, it will be the 10th longest cable-stayed bridge in the world, trailing only behind Russia's record holder. But here's where it gets next level. The Gordie Howe Bridge will feature the longest composite steel and concrete deck ever built for a cable-stayed bridge worldwide. And engineers have conducted comprehensive geotechnical investigations to ensure the bridge's durability for 125 years. The foundation consists of deep pilings designed to withstand wind loads, seismic activity, and long-term wear. The Gordie Howe International Bridge, as you know, is a cable-stayed bridge with a main span of 853 meters that makes it the longest cable-stayed bridge in North America. The bridge towers, on both sides, stand 220 meters tall, making it the largest tower on the Canadian Tower, and of course, second largest on the US side. These two massive A-shaped towers will be standing tall on opposite sides of the Detroit River. It features 6 lanes for automotive traffic, plus dedicated paths for cyclists and pedestrians, which makes it even more special, integrating with new and existing trails on both sides. On the US side, a massive 68-hectare port of entry will be housed, and on the Canadian side, a 53-hectare entry point will directly connect to Highway 401. The two massive ports of entry are designed as such to streamline border crossings and enhance trade efficiency between the United States and Canada. On the US side, the port of entry spans 167 acres, making it one of the largest border facilities in North America. It includes inbound and outbound inspection facilities for both passenger and commercial vehicles, along with commercial exit control booths and extensive parking areas. The Michigan interchange with I-75 is being modified to accommodate new ramps leading directly to the port, ensuring easy highway access. On the Canadian side, the port of entry covers 130 acres, making it the largest Canadian port on the U.S. Canada border. It features border inspection facilities for passenger and commercial vehicles, outbound inspection stations, toll collection booths, a maintenance facility, and parking areas. The port connects directly to Highway 401, eliminating congestion and improving traffic flow. And if the name Gordie Howe sounds familiar, as it should, the bridge pays tribute to Canadian hockey legend Gordie Howe, who dominated the ice as a Detroit Red Wings superstar. Even its tower legs are designed to mimic the curvature of a hockey stick launching a slap shot, giving a legend of both sides a very well-deserved tribute. As of right now, construction is in full swing, and the bridge is to open this fall, in September 2025. It is steadily nearing completion, with all major structural components now in place. The bridge deck has been fully connected, linking the U.S. and Canadian sides, while all 216 cable stays have been installed. Crews have begun paving the deck with latex-modified concrete, a material designed for long-term resilience. Structural steel and concrete panels are being finalized, alongside electrical installations such as roadway and pedestrian lighting, navigation beacons, and security systems. The drainage system, comprising 332 scuppers spaced every 10 meters, is also in its final stages. The upcoming months will focus on instrumentation testing, including weather monitoring systems and the semi-automatic fire suppression system to ensure the bridge meets safety standards. The traffic is expected to rise from 18,500 vehicles a day in 2016 to 26,500 by 2025. So the Gordie Howe International Bridge is just in time and designed to ensure the smooth flow of goods and people between the two nations. The Detroit-Windsor crossing currently facilitates over $100 billion in annual trade, and the new bridge is expected to increase trade volume by at least 30% over the next decade. The Gordie Howe International Bridge has been hailed as a monumental leap forward in North American trade and infrastructure, but it hasn't been without its share of controversy and opposition. From corporate resistance to political disputes, the project has faced intense scrutiny since its inception. One of the most vocal opponents has been Manuel "Matty" Maroun, the billionaire owner of the Ambassador Bridge. Maroun fought tooth and nail to block the project, arguing that a second span of the Ambassador Bridge would be a cheaper and more efficient solution. His legal battles against the Canadian and Michigan governments stretched for years, with lawsuits attempting to halt land acquisitions and delay construction. Despite his efforts, the publicly funded Gordie Howe Bridge moved forward, effectively challenging his monopoly over the border crossing and hence ending his tenure. Beyond corporate interests, the bridge has also faced criticism over its funding and procurement policies. Some Canadian steel industry advocates have raised concerns about the use of foreign steel in parts of the project, arguing that it undermines local manufacturers and jobs. The bridge was exempted from Buy American procurement rules, allowing materials to be sourced from outside North America, sparking debates over whether a Canadian-funded project should prioritize domestic suppliers. Like all big projects, there was a lot of drama around this project as well. But despite these challenges, the bridge is in full swing to open this year, and clearly reshape North America's trade once and for all.